They say that travel is about the destination. It's about the checklist, the must-sees, the photos you take to prove you were there. But what if travel isn't about adding things to your life, but stripping them away? Hey friends! Welcome to Serene Trails and Suitcase. I came to Eastern Samar alone, with no real plan, looking for something the city couldn't give me. I didn't want to rush. I just wanted to be. It's days 1 and 2 of my solo journey into tranquility. This isn't a guide on how to see everything. This is a story about what happens when you stop looking and start seeing. To find silence, you usually have to go through a bit of noise first. My journey began in Cebu, leaving the familiar behind. I realized that slow travel is a bit of a misnomer. Sometimes, getting to the slow part requires a very fast, very exhausting transit. The route was long. A supercat ferry to Ormoc, a van to Tacloban, and then another van to Hernani. I'll be honest with you. I get motion sickness. It's the unglamorous tax I pay for these adventures. But there is a strange comfort in the transit. Being in a moving vehicle is one of the only times in life when you aren't expected to do anything but sit and wait. You are between worlds. You are anonymous. I decided to split this Eastern Samar story into 2 parts because rushing through the edit would betray the very reason I went there. So, for the next few minutes, let's slow down together. Let's go to Hernani. I arrived at Leona Homestay with that specific kind of exhaustion that feels heavy in your bones but light in your spirit. I chose this place not because it was a 5-star resort, but because it felt like a home. When you're traveling solo, the places you sleep become your sanctuary. You need a space that welcomes you back when the world feels a little too big. I didn't have an itinerary for day 1. Actually, I didn't really have an itinerary for the whole trip. I just knew I wanted to see the water. This isn't the white sand of Boracay or the limestone cliffs of Palawan. This is raw and untouched. It's the edge of the country. There's a distinct feeling you get when looking at the Pacific Ocean from the eastern side of the Philippines. It feels vast, unforgiving, but holding you. I walked, sat, and stood there, looking at the beauty of the sea, taking in the salt air, letting the motion sickness of the van ride fade away, replaced by the rhythm of the tide. This was the first breath of fresh air I'd had in months. The morning here is just light. The first rule of slow travel: wake up when your body is ready. I woke up even before my alarm, probably from the excitement. The good thing about La Leona Homestay is that they also have a guide. My guide is the owner's nephew, named Dom. That's the second rule. Trust the people who live there. I told him, I just want to see what's beautiful. I'm open to suggestions. He took me to Guinduyanan Cove first. It's quiet here. The kind of quiet that makes you conscious of how loud your own thoughts are. I spent minutes watching waves carve their way through the rocks. Sitting there, I saw water and stone in quiet conversation. A slow erosion that began long before I arrived and will continue long after I leave. Traveling solo means holding the beauty to yourself. lonely at times, yet intimate. The waves were too strong that day. It was a high tide, so I left sooner than planned. My guide spoke of a white monkey and a rare bird that lives here. I caught a glimpse of the bird from afar. It watched me briefly, then disappeared into the distance. In their world, I was only a quiet visitor. I stayed, listening to the waves, watching small creatures trace the sand, until the moment gently told me it was time to leave. And then, the main event, Canhugas Nature Park. If the Cove was a whisper, Canhugas is a scream. I stayed longer than planned, watching the waves and the world slow down. There is something hypnotic about raw power. The Pacific Ocean slams into these rocks with a force that shakes the ground. It's scary. It's beautiful. It's amazing how these places were created by one mighty hand. I realized that slow travel isn't just about moving slowly. It's about giving a place the time it deserves to speak to you. If I had rushed this, I would have seen the water, but by staying, I felt the water. I felt small. And in a world where we are constantly trying to be big, to be important, to be seen, feeling small is a relief. By midday, hunger set in. My guide suggested a spot. A private beach, but empty and calm. Lunch was simple, but the view was expensive. There's a specific luxury in eating by the ocean. You taste the food more. You aren't distracted by checking your phone. You're just nourishing your body while the view nourishes your soul. I thought about the itinerary I didn't write. If I had planned every hour, I might have been in a different place by now. Instead, I'm here. Hi! After lunch, my guide suggested this newly opened mangrove spot. Mangroves are the lungs of the coast. Walking through them feels like walking inside a living organism. It was cool, shaded, and silent. There was no one else here. I barely filmed. Sometimes, the camera feels like a barrier. I wanted to remove the lens and just use my eyes. To end the day, an evening dip. The water was warm. Floating on my back, looking up at the sky and the seas, the sun was beginning its descent, signaling the end of day 2. I thought about how much we miss when we rush. We miss the texture of the sand, the water temperature, the way the light changes minute by minute. 2 days in Eastern Samar. I haven't seen anything. I haven't gone to the top rated TripAdvisor spots, but I have rested. I have breathed. And I have connected with this place in a way that feels permanent. This is just the beginning. Days 3 and 4 brought me deeper into the province, to places even quieter. In the next video, I'll continue this slow journey. We'll explore the hidden corners of days 3 and 4, and I'll share why leaving this place was harder than I expected. If you enjoy this moment of calm, please like and subscribe. It helps more people find this quiet corner of the internet. And tell me in the comments, when was the last time you traveled without a plan? If you're preparing for your own journey, I shared a few travel essentials in my previous video, right here. See ya!